What's up, Doc Sports? It's me, Detroit Lenny, here, joined with Tony George on a Tuesday. It's Tuesdays with Tony. As always, we are live and in full effect. It is Tuesday, April 28th. We're going to talk a little NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, full slate of MLB going on, and some action that-wise. We'll get Tony's thoughts on all of that. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, drop in the comment section what you like today, side, total, prop, or otherwise, or if you got a specific question about a specific game, drop in the chat. We'll go over it or something like that. Don't forget about that free $60 account. New customers, free $60 account dropped into your account. You can use that on any premium handicapper picks you want over at the website, including Tony George's premium plays, docsports.com/free60. Use that over there. Tony George, I'm sure, has got a buffet of options available for you throughout the week.
A veritable potpourri.
That's great. That's great.
A Midwest term.
I love that. I got you there.
Remember that growing up when you were a kid? My mom had it everywhere. She had bowls of potpourri that now you plug shit in the wall.
Oh yeah, these girls, these wives nowadays are spoiled.
Yeah, $8 a pop. My wife's got them all over the house, but
yeah, little cubes of wax everywhere in my house.
Yeah,
everywhere I open a junk drawer, everywhere, and there's like a pack of cubed wax, and I'm like, why? What? I don't know.
Yeah,
I know nothing.
Yeah. Well, let's get the 8,000-pound elephant out of the room. What the hell's wrong with your Detroit Pistons? Now, I had a 5-unit top play on them the last game. Well, I was in, what is going on? What's going on?
Listen,
I not get over the hump.
I don't think they're built for the playoffs. I just don't. I don't think so.
No show. What is going on?
I think the Detroit Pistons are a bunch of number twos with a superstar.
They were ready to make bigger staff.
So they're about ready to fire him. I swear to God,
coming of Christ 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, if on what do they play Wednesday? Tomorrow. If they play in Detroit tomorrow and they get their ass handed to them, there will be booing them out the stadium.
Orlando is not that good. I mean, they don't get along as a team. That whole team's going to be broken up at the end of the year. They don't get along. I don't get it. I mean, he's getting his ass coached off for starters.
No adjustments whatsoever. Not one time did they make adjustments. They played 4 games of basketball, and I felt good about one quarter of basketball. In game 2, third quarter, they dominated. Yesterday's game, I thought the second quarter they played better than they normally do in the second quarter, but they fell off and they just fell off. And I don't understand it. I don't think he's made any adjustments. I think there's partially blame to the coach, but I look back at, I said this yesterday, I look back on all bad boys teams. And
You're
I think
9.5-point favorite tomorrow.
Don't do that. Don't bet that. I don't know.
What?
But again,
I just pulled up I didn't look. I'm focused on today. I didn't do a look ahead because I got one tonight. I hit and miss of 2-2 the last 4 picks and lost that 5-unit, but 9.5? Dude, come Orlando.
I don't understand it. The Pistons
always ass a handful of rocks, shooting the ball.
It's been Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas, right? It was Rip Hamilton and Chauncey Billups. It's Cade Cunningham and who? There is nobody else. And
Dirk haven't even shown up.
No, that guy, I think he's a great off the bench kind of guy. He's not a number 1 center. He can't shoot. Unless it's inside under the basket. He has no jumper, no outside shot, plays hella defense. That's great, but can't shoot. They have nobody shoot 3 ball except for Duncan Robinson, and he can't get 3 a game. I mean,
at the end
his total's a 2.5.
At the end of the day, I think you manage your expectations even if you win, because it's Boston and everybody else in the East. You saw that the last game when they I was shocked at that score. And hey, it's not my year in the NBA. So my words might not carry any weight to a lot of people this year at least, but I will tell you that when Philadelphia thought they were going to pump that crowd full of adrenaline and juice by bringing Embiid back for that game, Embiid, Maxey, and George on their home floor got beat by 32. I mean, Boston, when they remind me of Golden State back in the heyday. They just get complacent at times. They know they can beat the shit out of everybody.
Turn it on whenever they want.
And they just flip a switch. And I think they do it tonight because the last time they played at home, Philadelphia beat them. I was going to share some thoughts with your listeners since, I'm not getting paid to do this, but I take pride in my work anyway. The 3 games that Boston won, you always worry about double digits in the playoffs. Now, I'd be extremely worried about Detroit nearing 10 tomorrow. Yeah. But that being said, in elimination games, you really need Portland, Boston tonight. San Antonio, Boston tonight.
Yeah.
You worry when you get a big lead. Are you going to risk Tatum and Brown, White? Are you going to risk Wemby, Castle?
They're elimination games.
Late in the game, when you're coasting to a win, nobody gives a shit about the point spread in the NBA unless the players are betting props on their own. And we'll talk about Sorsby in a minute, but they got busted in college. But at the end of the day, in the 3 games that Boston won, they were up at halftime, 57-38, 54-47, 61-46 in the first half. So the closest gap was 7 points. Now, the first half line in this game is 7. That was a free play I put up on the YouTube channel. For those of you that don't tune into all the YouTube channel free plays we all put up, first of all, I'm not saying you're stupid, but you got a bad luck when it comes to thinking. But at the end of the day, I lay Boston. Remember the last time they were at TD Garden, they got smoked 111-97 by these very same 76ers. They're going to come out with their ears pinned back tonight out of the gate. I think they get it done. And another angle I was getting, Tatum has been getting a shitload of rebounds. Against everybody but Charlotte. But if you take a look at his last 15 games, it's unreal. He only had 6 the last game. Having Embiid in there makes a difference. And his prop hasn't moved off 10.5 where it had been. Okay. And he's geared more towards scoring right now.
Yep.
He only had 30 last game. I'm just telling you that under 10.5 rebounds at minus 130 for Tatum is another angle to look in this game as well.
I like that. I like those angles because, I don't want to lay double digits with any of them.
No,
and the Spurs are the same way. They get up real, late in the game. How much are they going to maybe let off the gas to try and cover that, 12 points or whatever it is? I don't think they do that. I don't like that either, but I like that first half bet. I like that first half ankle. I think good way to look. I think the Knicks absolutely destroy the Hawks. So I don't know.
I don't. But let's get back to the first 2.
Okay.
I'll just say this when it comes to betting those games tonight. It's not a question of if Boston or San Antonio is going to win tonight. It's just by how many.
Fair.
That's that. Now, the Hawks and Knicks, I kind of thought I had the same thought process with Detroit last night as I had with New York in their game against Atlanta. The last game they played. Now, Atlanta had got to them, beat them, and I thought that New York was the better team. However, and so what they did was they got their shit together and had a commanding win. I thought Detroit would do the same thing. They're the better team. I did in my write-up yesterday, if you got that pick, sorry we lost. But I said the same thing. I'm comparing this to the New York-Atlanta game.
Yeah.
They got them back on their heels. They effed up. They lost some games they shouldn't have. They didn't play well. They weren't all on the same page for whatever reason, which is hard to believe at this time of year with the record like New York and Detroit had. But for whatever reason, they're going to pull themselves up off the mat and they're going to prove they're the better team like New York did. Unfortunately, Motor City couldn't do it.
No.
But New York did. But I'm telling you, Atlanta is a troublesome team. They probably, outside of Charlotte, they had the best record in the second half of the season. Quinn Snyder's got them playing ball. They play a good brand of team ball, and they spread it around. And bear in mind, McCollum is a stud. He was a stud at Portland. He's a stud here. He gets going. He didn't have a good game the last game. I expect him to have a better game. And I think that New York will win it, but I'm not willing to lay 6.5.
That's fair.
New York has moments where they're kind of like Detroit. You look at them and go, what are you doing?
What are you doing? They just take time off.
What?
They just mentally.
And Bridges has been a no-show.
I don't know. I got nothing.
That one there, I wanted nothing to do with. I have a totals play in the Blazers and Spurs game. I do have a 6-unit player prop top pick on a prop 3-pack today. That's well worth investing. Use that $60 right there. Comes with a profit guarantee tonight.
Can't beat it.
So, and the prop cards are $25. You can't
beat it.
Get 2 fish sandwiches and a shake for $25 at McDonald's. But it's true. Go get it and then get a guarantee. And if it doesn't win, you get $25 parked back in your account. Never been a member. It's a good time to invest. I mean, you're here for free stuff, right? You're watching for free picks, free stuff. Go get a free 60. Go get a free profit guarantee and go get a 3-0 sweep. We've cased our last 2 prop top picks. They both were last week, a 5 and a 6.
Okay.
And we got a Nerfy on there in baseball. We're over 70% with those this year, Nerfy and Yurfy. Yes or no runs first inning. And then we have another prop in the Celtics and Sixers game. The prop is in the Hawks and Knicks game. It's up today, so be sure and get over there and get that. Props are they're rolling. I put that Tatum prop up on my Twitter at T George Capper.
Yep.
I gave you a couple last week. They both cashed. I gave you the race winner in NASCAR. Before we get to the free picks, I wanted to talk to everybody about some markets. And I did a video. You sent me a text yesterday. I did one earlier this year in NASCAR, how to bet NASCAR and why to bet it. I did one yesterday on PGA, how to handicap it, why to bet it. Check them out. Those markets are soft. WNBA's around the corner. Don't like women playing basketball, too many double dribbles and air balls, whatever you're thinking. These girls can ball.
Yep.
3 out of the last 4 years, we have been at plus 2,500 or better on the season. In the WNBA, 2 of those 3 winning seasons, we were over 61% ATS without getting in the units and the money. In those 3 years, we profited $10,600 for a $100 player. In 2022, we were plus 5,450. And bear in mind, it's low volume for me.
Right.
1 pick a day, 1 pick I'm not throwing out a bunch of shit up against the wall to see what sticks. So I'm just saying, you need to consider those sports. NASCAR, we banked the last 4 races in a row. If you watch NASCAR this weekend, the second biggest wreck in the history of Talladega. And that's saying something because that track is notorious for huge wreckouts. Took out half the field. We still cased a ticket. I'm just saying. PGA, we took the week off. We went 7-2 in the Masters. Now, the RBC Heritage, we dumped. This week, we have the Cadillac Championship. Well, what's that? That's new, kind of. Yeah. It's a signature event, which means there's a $20 million purse. And you have to qualify. There's no cut. And it's at Doral. Now, Doral used to be on the tour. The last time a tour event was played at Doral, it was on the Live Tour. But they're back on with Doral this year. Of course, I played, 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
Gettable. There's going to be some low scores.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what we're going to do is, much like NASCAR, when it comes to picking the PGA, a lot of the handicap in NASCAR is how do certain drivers do at certain tracks.
Right.
They go to the same one every year.
Do better on short tracks. Some do better on long. Yeah. Okay.
Speedways, intermediate tracks, road courses. But it's been a while since they played here, so I don't have a lot of history, especially with a lot of these younger players that played at Doral. So what we're going to do is we will do a top 10 pick video tomorrow.
Okay.
For the tournament. We've given, I think, 7 or 8 of those. We've had 1 loss. Every top pick on those videos have hit but 1 for the top 10. 3 of them won outright. The tournament.
Okay.
Now we'll do some,
like that.
We'll do some daily head-to-heads, but I'm going to wait till Friday. I want to see how things shake out on Thursday because it's been a while since they played this course, and I want to see who does what day 1, and then day 2 we'll start in our head-to-heads on Friday. I don't think there's a cut at this signature event. Like Heritage, there wasn't one either, but nonetheless, we're looking forward to getting it done for you in the PGA this week. And next week, I was going to text you today. I haven't yet. I'm going to do a WNBA season preview video next week with Tim Fines.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. We did that last year.
Yep. Now, last year, we gave you an 8-unit futures on that show for free.
Yep.
We gave you an 8-unit futures at the All-Star break on the Las Vegas Aces, and they ended up winning the whole thing.
Whole damn thing.
And the year before that, when we gave an 8-unit futures on our season preview, it won. Don't like WNBA? Well, do you like money?
I do.
So be sure and tune into that next week. We'll give you a heads up next Tuesday. The season starts May 8th.
I like that. I'm excited about that. Let me know when. I'll set it up and do all the or whatever. I'll set you all up, all that. But Tim's a good guy. I love you guys' WNBA take, and I loved. I'm not big on futures. I'm not I'll bet my Tigers or Pistons, whatever. By the way, that Eastern Conference Final Pistons ticket is. I want to burn it so bad. But as soon as I do, some bitches will win. They won't win. They'll win everything, And it might be worth me just saying, screw that $100 bill. I'm just saying. But whatever. It is what it is. Let's talk some NHL because the NBA can kiss my ass.
What a game last night.
Whoa,
Vegas, Utah. I'm telling you
I had Utah too. I'm not gonna lie.
I had Vegas in that minus 115 when I put it out. I thought the veteran leadership, the veteran on that team losing 2 in a row. I thought they would bounce back. They had a 3-0 lead. If you didn't watch that game,
it was great.
You don't like sports.
Right.
That was the best.
Hockey.
Dude, playoff, anytime you go to a live NHL game, and I went to 30, 40 of them out in Vegas, including 2 different Stanley Cup finals and a bunch of playoff games along the way. That is the most visceral, adrenaline-filled, testosterone-filled, unbelievable event you can go to in sports. I don't care. College basketball, Final Four, Super Bowl, NFL live, any of that shit. World Series. I've been to World Series games in Kansas City back in the 2015, 2014 seasons when I lived here before I moved to Vegas. And I'm telling you, there's nothing like it. What a game. There wasn't an ounce of energy left in either team. They left it all on the ice. It was an unbelievable game. I'd be curious to see how much gas they got left in the tank for tomorrow night. I haven't seen the line yet. I'm sure Vegas is going to be somewhat of a short favorite. But what a game. What a freaking game, dude.
Actually, 165. Vegas is minus 165.
What's the total?
6 most spots. There's some 5.5s, but there's only like 2 spots, but there's 6.
Now,
and I'll tell you what,
get on that over. They're going to have tired legs, man.
Yep, I agree. And then I'll be honest with that Flyers, that Penguins Flyers game was good. I had the Flyers too, but whatever.
I was too busy watching your Pistons take a shit.
Man, I
to
turned
worry about the early hockey game. Then I flipped over to Vegas. I'm thinking, if I lose the Pistons and I lose Vegas, they're up 3-0. All of a sudden, it's 3-3 like that. Then they're up on them 4-3, and then Vegas finally gets one. We get an OT. I was about ready. Speaking of being suicidal, people think we're here selling dog shit and ripping people off, and we're a bunch of scamsters. I live, eat, and breathe this stuff, and I want to win every pick I give you guys. Now, we all know that's impossible, but we give you our best shot, and we do give a rat's ass whether we win.
That's true. That's true.
Man,
there's some good hockey on tonight too.
Big time. I like Dallas.
So do I. I like Dallas, but I'll tell you what. I've sprinkled the draw on every one of those games, and we've hit the last 2. Game 3 and 4 went in overtime, so we're up money. And I'll sprinkle it again on this game. Minnesota and Dallas are the same team to me.
Yeah,
they're the same team. So I'm just gonna keep going.
2 of them already go to OT.
Huh?
2 in that series already went in overtime, didn't they?
Yeah, game 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Game 3 and 4. So I'm
up in that number on the draw.
Plus 300 every time. Every time. You might get maybe one, but
just for you, I'm going to get on my Circa app when I get off this show. I'm going to put a hundy on the draw.
Hey, I'm telling you, it's worth a sprinkle. I'll tell you, folks, that. The only things that have been consistent for me in the NHL playoffs, Edmonton and the Ducks over, and the draw in the Minnesota-Dallas game. 2 out of 4 went in. If you put $100 on each one of them every game, you're up. You're up, people. You're up. And this ended up I think that series goes to 7, and I'll sprinkle on the draw every damn time.
I've got a 4-unit play in the Boston and Buffalo game tonight, so I'm not going to talk about that one.
Okay.
But we are 7-3 in the postseason. We're hitting 70% in the NHL playoffs. The asterisk is we did lose an 8-unit play.
Oof.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Tough. On Buffalo in the game they lost at Boston.
Oh, of course.
Brutal.
Wow.
Or on Boston in the game where Buffalo beat them in game 3. So, hey, that's an asterisk, but we tell it like it is. But 7-3, 70% in this climate right now.
Right.
And I'm
Welcome to
totally
the NHL
the Edmonton Ducks. Could you ever take an under in there? No. You just think, well, game 5s, they're usually more tight. They're getting down to the end of the series. Not those 2. They're gunning. They're gunning.
Everyone, game 1, 4-3. Game 2, 6-4. Game 3, 7-4. Game 4, 4-3. In overtime. I thought the Ducks would hang for a little while with Edmonton. I do think the Ducks are a decent team, and they might even take this series. But either way, there's going to be, goals scored in this series, like that Philly and Pittsburgh series. I told people there'll be blood in that series. There will be blood. They don't like each other. They're 2 hours away from each other.
Yeah.
You know, they just want to meet in the middle and fight in a Waffle House parking lot. They don't give a shit. You know what I mean? So, you know, they really don't.
Right.
So that series is going to just be a beat up series, you know. I feel bad for the series that whoever wins that series is going to probably get their ass beat the next round because they're going to be beat up from that series. I think.
Well, I'll tell you what, you watch that game like that. To reiterate your point, you watched that Vegas and Utah game last night.
They don't like each other.
Physical. Those guys were taking beatings up against the wall all night long. They're going to be some sore MFers today, and they're going to be in the ice bath. And they're going to be, and tomorrow night they're going to be slow moving to the, you know,
ice baths and massage.
You have a tired, beat-up team. They suffer on defense more than they suffer on offense. And I think you'll see some scoring in that game. And last night gives you a little bit of kind of a check mark. Yeah, that was physical. Yeah. It wasn't easy. They're going to have tired legs. Those goalies were taxed. You know, Hart had a good night, but, you know, he gave up 4. I mean, but he made stop after stop, and the power plays weren't working for Utah. And just unbelievable. And it's going to be another unbelievable game tomorrow night.
It's just playoff. Hey, everybody talks about how great the NHL playoffs are. They're here. And it's round 1, and it's just crazy.
There's nobody in the end. I say this every year, and people don't listen to me. You need to listen to me. I've been doing this 34 years. I'm OG, I'm old guard. But I can tell you something. When you get into even the first round, especially any round after the first round, in any money line playoff series like baseball and NHL, no team should be laying over minus 150. Because I'm telling you, anybody can beat anybody, and there's no value in laying 165. And if you want to lower it, there's 2 ways to do it. You can play the 60-minute line, which they have a high potential to go into OT in these things, or you got to play the puck line, which you don't want to do. Game 5, Game 6, Game 7. They're going to be 1-goal game. And if you take the plus 1.5 with like Utah tomorrow night, you're going to be laying minus 140-ish.
170
See?
At FanDuel.
There's no way you can win it.
5 at DraftKings for a goal and a half with Utah. I'm not doing that. I'd rather just if I like Utah, I'm going to take my shot on Utah. Just money line. I'm not going, I'm not going on that route.
Can Utah go in there and beat them 5-4 next time around? Hell yeah, they can.
Hell yeah, they can. Absolutely.
They look faster. They looked faster. They looked every time they went down on that offensive end, they looked like they had 3 more guys than Vegas, and they were playing catch up. Hart made a lot of really good stops.
I worry about Utah on the road. They're definitely better. They're better at home. So I thought last night was their best chance to get one on them to get up in this series, kind of thing. But we'll see. It's the playoff.
You wonder if that gutted them a little bit, losing that.
I'm just saying. I don't know.
Vegas is more veteran. They can bounce back from something like that better than Utah's youth can.
Absolutely. And I keep telling people this, but I saw this in a comment on one of our videos the other day about the expansion team in Utah. Utah is not an expansion team.
No.
They moved from Arizona. And let me be clear, they got evicted out of their stadium. Okay.
Yeah. And they were glad to leave.
Yeah, they were beefing with the city of wherever they were, Phoenix or Mayside. Glendale, thank you. They were beefing with them about stadium stuff, so they weren't going to pay. They moved. They got a whole new city, new, they got a whole new wardrobe. They got a new sugar daddy. And new fans, and they made them feel good about themselves.
I went down to a game.
I want to see a game there.
I went down to a game in Phoenix when they were in Phoenix.
Oh, I've seen the Coyotes play. I've seen I'm from Vegas. That's a quick drive for me. That's a day trip.
Yeah, that's what I did. Well,
Yeah.
I stayed in Scottsdale that night at the Adeline, had a good time. Down there in old town Scottsdale, and ran into our buddy Kiev from Odds Breakers. But end up going to the game. Dude, there were like 1,600 people there.
Oh, well,
you can get general admission for like $35. I walked in and I said, "Can I go down and sit 17 rows up on center ice?" He goes, "Yeah, who gives a shit?" That was the usher.
I swear on my mother's grave. I'll send you a picture after we get off the show. I have text. I rode the Zamboni there as a Red Wing fan. I swear. I called. We had a bunch. Me, my wife, the kids, we all wanted to go to a game. There's 5 of us. I'm still, this is going to sound weird, really good friends with my ex-wife and her new husband and my 2 older kids. Well, they wanted to go to a game too. So I'm like, all right, hey, we're going for the weekend. Like, I need 10 tickets. I called the guy. I'm like, listen, I need 10 tickets. Do I get some kind of group rate? Whatever. He's like, yeah. He goes, we can give you some, swag and stuff like that. I go, let me be clear. We're all Red Wing fans. I don't want no Coyote swag. We're all Red Wings fans. Keep your hats and T-shirts. I'd rather have closer seats. I'd rather do that.
Right.
Guy goes, well, what do you really want? I go, listen, I'm a 12-year-old boy at heart. I'm always going to be a 12-year-old little kid in the middle and inside. I want to ride the Zamboni. And this shit just came out of my mouth. And the guy goes, okay. And I go, really? And he goes, yeah. He goes, it'd have to be during in between the second and third periods. And I'm like, okay. And my big ass at my peak weight, 385 pounds, I got my big fat ass on this little chair that was probably the size of my mouse pad right here. My one ass cheek sat on it. I almost fell off of it. They made me take my Red Wings t-shirt and turn it inside out because I couldn't type Red Wings stuff on the zip. Yeah, and it says up there, it says Detroit, welcome Detroit Lenny on the Zamboni. My fat ass is holding on for dear life. I almost fell off of it on one turn. I didn't realize, man, they cut those corners tight. And it was I'm like, and there was less than 5,000 people there. There were more Red Wings fans there than there wasn't.
Oh, they played
ass crack out. Yeah, Daniel, my ass was all hanging out.
They played San Jose when I was down there, and it was all San Jose got people.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I was like,
100%.
I have my night shit on. I don't care.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the comment? I missed the comment.
Oh, he said, yeah, my ass crack all hanging out. It was, but I'll tell you what, I was holding on for dear life right there. I was not going to make Sports Center as the fat kid that fell off the Zamboni. They had this little stool to get up there, and I'm like, this is it for the chair. And I'm like, I literally had one thigh on there, and I was like, all right, let's hurry up, and I'm telling my wife, I'm like, I'm gonna take my shirt off mid ride, and you just gotta take pictures because they're gonna kick me off. And then she's like, don't do it. And I'm like,
oh man,
I did. Yeah, I did. We had a good time. How do you feel about baseball today? Before we get out of here.
Oh,
I told everybody on the video yesterday that I would be sure to get your inside take on the epic collapse of your Kansas City Royals on the road, and specifically on the road. 2-10. 2-10.
I don't know what they're doing. The other night, Lugo was averaging 6.5 strikeouts a game. He couldn't get strikeouts against the Angels, and that was here. And they're the worst strikeout team in baseball. I don't know what they're doing. I'm dumbfounded. They're a fake team. I really thought this was going to be the year that they would. Last year, I thought they exceeded expectations, and then they kind of placed some on them, and they've just collapsed to this point. I mean, they're leaving runners stranded. Their bullpen is getting lit up. I don't know. I would never bet them on the road. At Kauffman Stadium, they're better. They seem to be better. And that's usually because they got their ass kicked so bad on the road trip. They come back, they kind of hit a reset, and they play better here. But yeah, I'm not high on them right now. We're rolling in baseball. We hit 9 in a row, and we're 9-2 with our last 11 cards. But the bad news is the last 2 cards we lost were over the weekend. We took a pass yesterday, wanted to kind of reset. I don't like betting Mondays in baseball. It's very.
I know you've said that forever, and you say that about Monday Night Football too.
Look at
you don't
the
like
scores.
that Monday Night Football?
No, I don't like Monday Night Football.
Mondays are
I
just
do.
Yeah.
I think we took maybe 5 or 6 Monday Night Football. We had a winning record on Monday Night Football, but we only took like 5 or 6 games. And I think I put out 1 Thursday game all year.
Yeah.
But Mondays in baseball are crazy. I thought the Cubs might do okay against the Padres. I didn't look at the final. They were getting lit up early, right out of the gate, with the better team. We have a 4-unit position tonight on a team that's getting disrespected. We got a weak line, so we'll bounce back with a 4-unit. Again, I single them out, and I best bet them. And if we keep hitting them like we're hitting them, we're going to start making those 5- and 6-unit plays and really busting up the bankroll, getting it up there because we're still rolling in baseball this year. One game I did like today that I passed on because they're still beat up a little bit. The Brewers, though, Merrill Kelly starting for Arizona, and he's terrible.
It's
37 years old, washed up. He's got almost a 9 ERA dating back to his last 5 starts. He didn't look good in his opener. Milwaukee's had some struggles, no doubt about it, but they're at home. I think they're the better team, and that's a short number on Milwaukee tonight.
Agreed.
Yeah, I might lay it with them.
I got a question in the chat for you. It says, Tony Dimes, Yankees over 93 wins, yes or no? That's rough. I don't like it.
Well, look at their division, though.
Yeah, I mean, I
Boston's
guess.
fired everybody.
Yeah, right.
Toronto's not playing. I mean,
Toronto had an off season. They lost all kinds of people. They lost their best player. So, I mean.
Well, hang on. I'm gonna answer that. I mean, the best team in their division is Tampa Bay. Besides them.
Yes. It's you know what? It's right there. I don't like the Yankees.
They're 19-10. They're basically 66% win rate. Their division's so bad they probably can get there. Barely.
That's what I'm
You're
saying.
talking like 90. They're going to win 91 to 95 games.
I was going to say that number's pretty tight. I think they're a low 90 team. I think they're
better teams on season win totals right here, right now in that action market. There's a lot better ones to bet than that.
I think the Athletics are going to make some noise this year. I mean, they're going to be an above 500 team this year. But I don't think that. I mean, that division is. Everybody starts slow in that division. The Mariners are both Texas. Everybody in that division started slow. So, it is what it is.
Like the NBA, you're going to have teams after the All-Star break, like the Hawks did and the Hornets did in the NBA that go on huge runs.
Yeah.
They get their shit together. There's going to be a couple teams in Major League Baseball about the halfway point are going to turn it around and start kicking ass, taking names. Somebody's going to pick up a hitter. Maybe it's Kansas City. But I'm just saying, somebody's going to pick up something they need, a different starter in the rotation where they're just one away, and they're going to win a lot. They're going to win some games they shouldn't down the stretch. And those are kind of the teams I look out for, not for the ones that are sitting on top. Because the thing about teams like the Yankees is there's only one way to go.
Yeah.
Down.
Yeah. Yeah,
especially late in the season in that division, they're liable to have a big lead by, 3 weeks after the All-Star break. They're liable to have such a big lead, they just start taking days off.
So
that's the bad thing about betting futures in baseball is until about early September, no one game means any more to them than another one.
Yeah,
it's not like the NFL where there's 17 games and you miss the playoffs because you effed off against the Arizona Cardinals never showed up in week 3 and it cost you the postseason. And they're all aware of that, where in baseball or even the NBA to a certain degree, they don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's true. I'm hoping the Braves actually start to fall off a little bit here as they play my Tigers this
number
this
one.
Series. I'm just saying, and we're not very good on the road either. We haven't started great on the road either. We're not even close to 500 on the road. I think we're like
you're 5-12 on the road.
Yeah, 5-12. Yeah. I was gonna say we're terrible on the road.
Sticking it up my Royals' ass. Guess what? You're stinking it up too, pal.
Hey man,
just FYI.
I'm just saying, first place looks good.
That's why I wore my Nebraska hat today instead of my Royals hat, so you'd leave me alone.
I just want to let you know we're in first place right now. Mark the day. It's April 28th. I don't expect us to not be in first place for the remainder of the year. I'm just saying. But that doesn't mean we'll do shit in the playoffs. Just look up Detroit. Just look us up in the playoffs. Nobody does.
You could argue right now that Atlanta is the best team in baseball. Forget the Dodgers.
Oh, I would make that
number one in starting rotation ERA, number 1 in runs, number 2 in on-base percentage, top 5 in slugging percentage. I mean, their offense is unbelievable. I mean, the fact that you got Mize on the hill doesn't mean jack shit tonight. They're hitting everybody.
They are hitting everybody. I mean,
it's crazy how. I mean, a lot of people are high on them. I was over on their season win totals at the beginning of the year. I talked to a guy that was really high on them getting all the way to the World Series this year. And so far, you got the best pitching ERA in baseball. Your bullpen's just barely over a 3 ERA, which is good. And you're hitting the skin off the ball. I mean, can they keep that up all season? I don't know. But out of the gate, they look better than the Dodgers to me.
I agree. I think Casey Mize, we'll see how, we'll see how I just root for him. I just root for that guy. He's been through a lot with our system, and I root for him. And then tomorrow you got Skubal and then Framer Valdez after that. So, I mean, we'll see those Braves. I mean,
this is not your best chance to win tonight. The next 2 days after that are.
Absolutely.
If you want to fade Atlanta, I wouldn't do it tonight, but that's, but I mean, Skubal, obviously, I agree. Your 2 best pitchers are coming up.
But we'll see how hopefully Tigers get their shit together on the road. All right, that's going to wrap it up. Oh yeah, go ahead.
How about the kid from Texas Tech they got from Cincinnati that got busted gambling? And now he's going to go. Now he's going to go into rehab. And they showed some of his bets. He was betting $1 on a pitcher striker ball. He's doing that for optics.
Right.
That I'm going to go into rehabilitation. I mean, the guy, how many hundreds of thousands of dollars did he get in nil money to go play ball? Kid's 20 years old. He was betting penny ante stuff.
Right. He's
but you're going to have
he's probably betting like a $2 same game parlay, 10 legs.
Yeah, it wasn't like he's putting 5 dimes on whoever the Cincinnati Bearcats were playing when he was quarterback. You're going to have this crossover with these kids.
Absolutely. I mean, think about it. A lot of these kids, how many play in the collegiate athletic world, okay? And then how many, even smaller percentage, actually make it to the NFL or even a CFL or UFL or arena football where they can actually make a living doing that. And then how long can they make that living for? And sports isn't a lifetime gig, okay? It's not that unless you go into broadcasting or something like that. So these 19, 21, these are kids, 22, young 20s that are taking this and trying to turn $5. Everybody's trying to hit the 8-leg mega parlay that's going to turn $5 into their 401k. It doesn't happen.
That's why FanDuel and DraftKings advertise it.
Exist. Exactly.
They'll give you this for a 5-leg parlay, and the guys who hit it, they hook them, then they can never win another one. Come on.
And listen, hey, I've hit multiple parlays doing some stupid shit. I have. But I've won
multiple parlays doing stupid shit too. It's when I try and get serious and win one you can't.
No. When I'm like, you know what? This is a 2-team parlay. It's perfectly priced. I'm gonna smack the shit out of it.
Right.
Nope. That never hits. The pizza money parlay. I've turned pizza money into car payments. I can't tell you how many times. Okay, you just messing around and finding out. Okay, back in my day when Lenny was a 21-year-old punk kid working at a meatpacking company in Eastern Market in Detroit, filling out paper cards that look like long index cards and just having to circle the number and at the bottom part fill in the number, tear it off, and give it to Two Finger Tony with your slip on it with $10, 10 teams. And that was good. That was my 401k right there.
Yep.
10-teamer, $10. Let it ride, baby. And then I started realizing, man, I could just bet $100 on one game and actually get money back from Two Finger Tony every week. That was the dude's name, man. Two Finger Tony. And it wasn't because he had two fingers, it was because he was missing these two fingers on his right hand. So he had 8 fingers, but we called him Two Finger Tony. Alexander and Honey, Meatpacking Company, Eastern Market, shout out. I don't even know if they're in existence anymore, but whatever. I'm just saying. I know what I'm just saying. It was good times back when we were 21. We used to get our checks on a Friday, go across the street to the bar, cash them. We'd get off work 2:00, be broke in the afternoon, be broke by 5 because they had the back door behind there. You could gamble a little bit of poker money in the machine.
Been there, done it.
Yeah, never done it. Never been around. Yeah, but I watched a lot of people. New customers, free $60 account, DocSports.com/free60. That's where you get that. Use that on that Tony's Props card. $25 is all that is. It's a profit guarantee, like Tony says.
Yeah, 6-unit top play and PGA and NASCAR this weekend. And by the way, I've got 2 losses in the UFL all year long. Anybody paying attention? And guess what? It looks like if the line stays steady, I'll have a game of the year on Saturday because the line's off. Big time.
Ooh,
it'll definitely be a top play.
I'll tell you what, I like when I get Tony George emails on like Friday nights. Because then I'm like, oh, okay, we got something going on for the weekend, do we? I'll
give you a heads up, brother.
I like it. I appreciate it. Don't forget, we're here Monday through Friday, 1:00 Eastern, Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern. That number's going to change on Saturday. We're doing things different. Doc's Daily's here. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you tomorrow. Rafael Esparza and Nick Mencken on the show.
Oh, hey, by the way, I don't do it. I don't bet the ponies, but I'm just giving Rafael. I'm giving Rafael some love. If you don't get his Kentucky Derby card every year, there's something wrong with you. Because I bet it, and I've been betting Rafael. I say whatever he does for his card with all the write-ups and what he's taken, he emails it to me usually Friday night or early Saturday morning every year. I say, give me your picks. He just sends them to me, what he's given his clients, and I've done nothing but make money. FYI for Rafael.
Yep, I agree. The guy, I believe him and Craig Trapp are doing, if it's not tonight, it's tomorrow. They're doing a breakdown for the Derby today. Today they pick the isn't today the drawing for which slot they started? The poll draw. Yeah.
I think it's today or tomorrow.
Right. So once that is set, they'll do they'll have a preview video to drop. Man, I love the Derby. I'm going to a Derby party Saturday. Got my suit picked out. I look like a preacher.
Oh, I know the party you're going to. I couldn't make it. I couldn't get out there.
I'm going to be there. I got the suit.
I'm pissed. My daughter's having a major surgery tomorrow, my young daughter, to repair some stuff. And she's going to be disabled basically for 6 weeks. So I can't, I got to stay home and play caregiver.
Yeah, so that the party I'm going to. So
yes, I do.
Your boy got his brown shoes shined up and I look like a preacher from the South, or I'm a pimp coming out of.
The last time I saw you at that guy having a party, last time you partied with that guy, he sent me a picture. You were wearing a kilt.
Yeah, it was St. Patty's Day. Now I'm a Southern preacher / 70s pimp. I I told my wife I want to rent an 84 Cadillac Brougham so I can pull up to the party in it.
Brougham.
He's like, what are you doing? Yeah, Brougham.
What could possibly go wrong?
I told her, I said, the back seat's made for me, baby. All right, I got to go. I'm going to get in trouble. Good luck unless you're against me. We'll see you guys tomorrow.